Well, it's June 2013 and we're off on a cruise. We've been on a cruise to the Nile and then up to Alaska and around Hawaii, and now we're going on the Pacific Pearl. Looks pretty good. We're going up into the Pacific Islands. Should be great. We're leaving from Auckland. There's ferry buildings down there. And that's the Cloud. And we're heading for Mystery Island on Vanuatu. It's about 2,000 kilometers north.
So this is a winter cruise. It's actually winter, and we start off with clothes like this, and the hope is that within a few days we will be in our sunnies and sun hats and shorts and enjoying warmer temperatures. So it's farewell to Auckland and off we go.
There's the harbour bridge, and there's the Sky Tower. And over there's Devonport, and there's Mount Victoria, and that's where I asked Kathy to marry me. Take along. And over there's Rangitoto, and there's Cheltenham where my parents lived, and Takapuna where I grew up. And this is what you get for a cabin. Oh, very, very nice.
Sure is. It's very comfortable and we have everything we need. There's an amazing amount of storage spaces for dressing tables, and if you come this way,
Sort of like a motel unit.
it is like a motel unit. We have a fridge if you want to put things in there. See, we haven't got a lot in there because we get fed so much we don't really need to store anything. But in here is the wardrobe, and you hang up your clothes, and plenty of wardrobes, and just so that you feel safe, there's your life jacket just in case.
And you're safe.
And safe, yeah. And ta-da!
A really good sized bathroom, toilet, and a big shower. And every day we get the Pacific Daily, and it tells all the different activities that are going on the boat. So today we can go to a fashion parade and get a liquid facelift. We can go to an art auction, look 10 years younger. Oh, I'll be in on that one. There's charades and trivia and bingo and quizzes and quoits and golf putting and table tennis and a boot camp in the library, and so it goes on. There's just piles that we can do. It's really good, even though every now and then you feel like you want to have a little lie down because there's so much happening.
So that's all the free things. However, if you want to pay, there's a spa downstairs and you can have some special treatments, like a shave of all shaves. For 55 minutes, who knows what they shave? $84. Or what I thought Ross might like was an ocean seaweed wrap treatment. 100 minutes where we can wrap them up in seaweed, and it's only $228. A bamboo massage, which the mind boggles as to what goes on there. Or you can have a fire and ice pedicure, manicure and shellac polish for only 128 Australian dollars.
One of the best things about life on board this ship is the food. Bacon and eggs for breakfast. And there's so much lovely food. Look at all the salads. Everything you could want. Fresh baked bread every day. Lots of lovely desserts. You certainly don't go hungry. This is available at night and at lunch time. And there's the cooks. Pretty good, eh?
try not to pile it too high, but
And if you don't want to go to the buffet, you go a la carte and you get very nice fine dining.
so what do you have there?
Well, I've got some chicken and chips.
I have New Zealand hake.
And then for pudding, I've got Belgian chocolate cake and ice cream. Very nice, very luxurious.
And down here is sticky toffee pudding and ice cream.
Nothing but the best on the Pacific Pearl, eh? And with all that lovely food, you're going to get lots of exercise. The more exercise you do, the more food you can eat tonight. Makes you feel better?
Not as much fun as cycling around property, but does burn the calories.
And of course you can just have a cup of tea and enjoy the sunshine.
Everywhere you go, you get photographed. You're always wanting to make money. So, oh look, here's our welcome aboard photos. And what's more, you can buy two. So there's boards and boards and boards of photographs, and they follow you around with a camera.
This certainly is the life. On board a ship like this, there's just so much you can do, or you can do nothing. There's sports, there's crafts, there's group activities, there's music. There's just so much happening all the time. But it is really rather nice just to sit back in the sun and enjoy it.
The possibilities are endless. You could just sit and relax in a deck chair, or you can go in the spa pool, you can swim in their little pools if you like. An endless list of activities, but sometimes it's nice just to stand and watch the sea.
And as we've got closer to the tropics, of course, it's got warmer and warmer, which is nice. And next stop is Mystery Island. And here we have Mystery Island, and it's tiny. No one lives on the island. This is one of the southernmost islands in Vanuatu. And the locals come across from nearby islands to service the tourists, but nobody actually sleeps here at night. It's a lovely beach, lovely place to come. Look at that. The only thing on the island is its airport, and that is so that they can bring mail in to service the islands nearby.
Great introduction for us to the Pacific Islands, and I think we're going to see more of this kind of island, but it's lovely to be with the coconuts and the beautiful tropical waters.
They've made this nice walking track right around the island, and it takes just over half an hour to go all the way around. And this is the market area where the locals sell all their trinkets and clothes. Very nice.
Cute little island attire.
Queen Elizabeth came to Vanuatu in 1974 and she decided that she'd like to come here to Mystery Island. When she came onto this beach, she liked it so much that she renamed the beach, and you know what she named it? Queen Elizabeth Beach.
So in the 1870s, my great-grandfather's brother, Thomas Sanderson, was on a boat around here called the Dancing Wave, and unfortunately it was invaded by locals and he ended up in a pot like this.
Cannibal soup. There are about 1,800 people on the Pacific Pearl, and it doesn't take long for them to spread out on Mystery Island, snorkeling and swimming and lazing in the sun.
And really the best thing for these islands is a towel, sun hat, sunglasses.
We're now in Port Vila, the capital of Vanuatu, and it's a city of about 30,000 people. Going to do a bit of a tour around the city to see what it's like. It should be good, it should be interesting to see a Melanesian culture.
You, me, iklat plong talem se. You, me, all man plong Vanuatu. There you go. Vanuatu was given to us on the 30th of July 1980 when we gained our independence from England and France. And Vanuatu means our eternal land. Yes.
We're in a typical Melanesian village. Over there's the meeting house, and they've got a market for the tourists, and very simple amenities.
Ladies and gentlemen, because the time that's given to you is so limited. But I would like to thank you all who choose to come to this place as it contributes financially towards our community.
Life in the village is pretty basic. And the church is obviously very important. As are the animals and the sport.
So life for villagers here is very basic, but they're very happy people, and tourism has made a huge difference, and the money that the tourists bring in allow them to build stronger houses made of bricks so that cyclones don't flatten them all the time, and another income source, and they're sharing their culture, so it's worth spending a few dollars here.
Captain Cook called this nation New Hebrides, and it was followed by a period of colonisation by the French and then later on by the English. So even today they've got French schools and English schools, and the people in the French schools have to learn English now and the people in the English schools have to learn French. But then in 1980 Vanuatu became an independent nation, and Vanuatu means the eternal land, and so they've got a new pride in not being colonised, but instead of being independent. And here we have the harbour of Port Vila. Very nice. This time it's a bit more set up for the tourists. And of course there's markets everywhere.
tourists, it's always nice to get back home.
The Pacific Pearl. And now we're in New Caledonia, the Loyalty Islands, and this is a little island called Lifou. And now we're in a French-speaking country, so parlez-vous français?
Ah, oui, oui.
You do. Good.
Petit peu.
Petit peu. And this time we have to be tended into the island. Lifou is another coral island as compared to a volcanic island. You get the lovely white sands. Lifou's got quite a nice beach. It's a wee bit windy today for snorkeling. This is a Melanesian culture. So we're going to go and start at the High Chief's house.
Come in this side. Okay, so let's go have a look. Just move a little bit.
Nice refreshing coconut.
Yeah. Now it's ready to eat. Quite soft. And very sweet.
Making the banyan, traditional food.
So to be back to our bunya, so now everything, the flavor, the chicken and all the projects are inside. Now she has to remove the banana's leaf to be able to receive the juice. Okay, coconut, go. The other side. You can imagine if you will use the dead leaf that will smoke off fire. Cover with the ground and we have to cover.
Similar concept to a hangi or a umu, cooking on hot rocks in the ground. And 1 hour later, the bunya looks like this. Delicious.
It's like on TV here. 1 hour later there is another. Okay? In the 2 plates over there you have banana. The second 2 plates here you have a yam. After that you have papaya and chicken.
This is the banana.
The lifestyle here in Lifou and the Melanesian village is pretty basic. They do try to have nice gardens around their houses, but the houses themselves are pretty simple. Here's the pigs, local currency. There's the school. Hello. And then here's the church. Obviously very important in this Melanesian culture. As is the hall where everyone gets together. And they're obviously cooking some food over there. Cooking for a wedding. The pig. Looks like the women do all the work and the men enjoy the beer.
We've been very lucky because we've got a pretty genuine Melanesian experience today. We walk into a wedding and see what goes on here. What a wonderful day.
And here's a Catholic church. Most of the churches, of course, on this island are Protestant. This is Our Lady of Lourdes on Lifou, and it's a place of healing. Well, I've really enjoyed our time in Lifou in New Caledonia. We were promised a Melanesian experience, and that's exactly what we got. The Melanesians are much darker skinned than Polynesians and have a very laid-back lifestyle. It's been lovely to share that with them. And now welcome to New Caledonia's Isle of Pines. It's named in the 1700s by Captain Cook because he was taken with the pines that grow all over the island. The missionaries came here in 1840, and in the 1870s it was home for about 3,000 French prisoners. But today it's all about tourism. Protestant missionaries came here in 1840, and at the same time there was an outburst of disease. Then eight years later the Catholic missionaries came and the disease went away. So basically overnight this whole country of the Isle of Pines became Catholic. You can see here how they've organised this memorial. It's like the chief's hut with the outside as a circle, and in the centre is Jesus, signifying the centrality of Christ to the people here. And here's the main Catholic church. This is the oldest church in all of New Caledonia, completed in 1903. And here's the school, but looks like everybody's on holiday at the moment. And this is how you get from one island to the next on the traditional sailing boat with the traditional motor, Yamaha. Back in history in this area, the king or the high chief passed on to his son so that he could become the next one. But only once in history the king or the high chief didn't actually have a son, and so his daughter Hortense became the queen, but she was only 8 years old. People didn't like that, and so they tried to kill her, and so she was hidden away in the caves here for 6 months while her uncle was a sort of a temporary king. Anyway, Queen Hortense did become the queen, and she was one of the great queen, or the only queen of this area. So doesn't pay to be a daughter.
And Hortense herself never had any children, and so it reverted back to the male line, and it was never repeated again. She adopted relatives' sons.
So this is Queen Hortense's cave. This is the sacred island. You're allowed to swim all around it, but you're not allowed to climb on it. And over there are the Araucaria pines, for which the Isle of Pines were named. They're very similar to Norfolk pines. This really is a Pacific Island paradise, isn't it?
So the Isle of Pines is not just full of pine trees, but it's full of beautiful sandy beaches, lovely blue sea, and the temperature is just gorgeous. It's not too hot, and we've been able to enjoy the environment here.
And it's quite special and it's quite stunning. The Isle of Pines, New Caledonia. And now welcome to Noumea, the capital of New Caledonia. In the whole of New Caledonia there are about 250,000 people, and about 180,000 of them live here. Quite different to the other islands that we have been to. Now we're going to have a look around the city of Noumea and the countryside. Going to take a bus tour. Noumea is the capital of New Caledonia. It's obviously a lovely Pacific island, but it's a bit different to the islands that we've been to because this is modern and expensive, and they reckon it costs even more than London to live here. And you can see that Noumea is doing pretty well. Lovely houses and boats and a fair bit of opulence. Look at that. And of course it's a major tourist attraction. That cannon over there has never been fired in anger.
There's something that jumps out at you when you come to Noumea, and that is that there is a lot of money, a lot of people living really well, but you just have to look a few metres away and you see that a lot of people are not living in the luxury of others. There's a lot of graffiti around and apparently a bit of a problem with their youth, but generally they say it's a safe society.
So it's very much a city of contrasts. New Caledonia was discovered by Captain Cook, and he named it New Caledonia after Caledonia, which is where he came from in Scotland. And in 3 years' time it's going to cease being a French territory. They're going to become independent. The French aren't too happy about that because out here is piles and piles and piles of nickel, and this area has the third greatest nickel production in the whole of the world, so it's pretty rich.
So here's a nickel. This is what it looks like in its raw form. This is what causes them to get excited about. So this stone here is in front of the Church of Miracles, and it's to commemorate, it's a thanksgiving to the Protestant missionaries and to the Catholic missionaries who came into this area and basically put an end to cannibalism, and they were very grateful for that.
And after a nice day in Noumea, it's always nice to get back home to the boat. So we say farewell to the Pacific Islands. Now we've got 2 days at sea as we head back to Auckland.
Well, our 10 days on board the Pacific Pearl are over and we're heading for Auckland. It's been a great holiday. We really are blessed to be able to do this. The highlight for me really is the offshore excursions, going to the islands and seeing people living a simple but happy life, and seeing the different kind of cultures and the different things that are important to them. And so that was an important thing, I think, to do while you're on a cruise. The shipboard life is as full as anything can be, and you could be really, really busy on board if you wanted to, but it was nice just to sit and relax as well. So a good holiday.
Yes, I've also really enjoyed being on this boat. The Pacific Pearl isn't quite as luxurious or big as the other boats that we've been on, and certainly the entertainment and the food isn't as good as we've experienced on other cruises, but it's certainly appropriate for New Zealanders, and most of the people on board are New Zealanders. We've had a really lovely time. I have also enjoyed the offshore excursions. The Pacific Islands have a very simple lifestyle, and it makes you realise that what we have in New Zealand isn't actually the way that life is for many people. And it's also nice just to relax on board this boat. I recommend cruising. I think as you get older it becomes more appropriate, and so we've certainly had a lovely time on the Pacific Pearl. Once again, I recommend a cruise like this. And right on time, we're back to the cold of Auckland after a wonderful, wonderful cruise.